I won't be up here forever.
Okay.
Okay, what did we decide today is? October
10th.
10th, 2021. So this is something that last year I wanted to do for Christmas, but I didn't because last year at the end of November I had COVID and it kicked my butt. So that's why I didn't get it accomplished. But and I wanted to have this gentleman with me so that he could see the process. You just kind of, or I guess I assume that most people know what canning is, and I grew up with it, with my mom and my grandma, and he didn't. So, to see, I didn't garden, and I didn't pick these from my garden, but if I did, the whole process of planting the seeds and cultivating and pulling the weeds, and then you pick the fruits and the vegetables, and then you do this with them. You preserve them. And I was explaining to Jax, back in the day, it was never an option because you had to. You had to do what you had to do to feed your family because times were really tough. So I wanted Jax to be a part of this so that he knew where the food come from and he can appreciate it. And maybe whenever he gets older, he might want to do this, or he might want to do it with me next year. I mean, you can can all kinds of things. I'm canning vegetable soup today. The idea is to give it away for Christmas presents. That was my idea last year. And it's going to be more than vegetable soup, but man, it's hard work. And I was telling Jax, we're canning in October, but normally it is July and August. And I've been there, done that. The sweat rolls off every part of your body. It is so flippin' hot. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. So we have the luxury of it being October, although it is a little bit warm out there, and we have air conditioning. So it's much better than what it used to be. So, yeah, so I've made a huge vat of vegetable soup. It started out in this, which is 12 quarts, yeah. And I had to put it into my other pot because it was too much for that. So it was probably about, I don't know what in the hell is so funny, but
Sweat rolls off every part of your body.
I'm telling you, every inch. Okay, so we probably made, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and we could easily have 13.
Did you say 8, 9, 10, 11? What did you say? 8, 9, 10, 12?
Yeah, I don't know. We could easily have 13 quarts. So, we are at the process where I'm going to show him how to. So I've already put it in all the jars. And it looks very nice in there, and you put it all the way up to the first line right here because you got to leave about an inch headspace. We have boiled and disinfected the flats. Actually, let's use tongs to get them out. We disinfected the jars through the beauty of the dishwasher. So, Jax, these right here is what's going to seal. I don't know what's so funny. I about knocked him in the head this morning because he woke up and come dragging in here like a flippin' ghost and scared the crap out of me. Don't get him laughing too much. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so see how these have rubber around it? Mm-hmm. This is what's going to seal. Oh, shoot. I forgot an important step. So one important step you got to do is make sure that there is no residue around the top of the jar. And you do that by taking either a paper towel or you can use some sort of cloth, and you just go around it. You're checking to make sure that there are no breaks, no cracks in the glass, but you're also making sure like some of the soup didn't get on there and maybe it won't seal very well. So if you want to grab that and grab a flat, as I do this, you can go behind me and put a flat on top of it.
Okay. Did you already do it to all of them?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and I learned by watching a canning video that those can be reused, which I've never in my life ever done that.
What
ever.
can?
The flats. Usually you pop it off and throw it away.
I think these are stuck together. Oh, wait. Okay.
So let me tell you what the next step is after you do all that. Then you're going to put these on there, and the only purpose for this is to hold this to that in the canner so that it makes sure that it adheres. And you don't want to put it on too much or you'll never ever get them off.
Okay.
So you just do them enough to where it's going to hold it. And we have put just about everything in this vegetable soup but the kitchen sink. I know this one girl that I was watching on the video, she was canning and she made sure, see how there's a...
Like a symbol?
Yeah, she lined this up, the word right here with it.
Oh.
I don't care so much about that. I can care less about that. That's a little anal, but I dig it. She's a very good canner to watch. So I'm just going behind you and I'm putting these on. And then what we're going to do is, then we're going to put these in the canner. This is very time consuming. So is it much easier to go to Walmart and get your groceries and get your vegetable soup? It is. But I just feel like you don't have the satisfaction of knowing that you...
done something productive.
Yeah. Makes you feel good. It just makes you have a sense of accomplishment.
You might want to do this on the weekend.
It definitely is a weekend job, for sure. But honestly, if you had your own garden, you wouldn't always have the option of deciding when, because it's all dependent upon when the garden is producing and when it's ready to be picked, you know? I know my Aunt Madonna puts out a big garden, and if my mom was still here, she would as well. She always had a decent garden. So, I don't know if I told it on the recording, but I told Jax that, my mom, my grandma, Hazel, Madonna, everybody put out gardens and
Hazel?
cooked.
Who's
Oh,
Hazel?
yeah. My friend, my mom's best friend. She lives in Bowling Green.
Hey, the thing is, the pot.
No judging on the way we look. My idea was to get up and get dressed and have a cute video, but at the end of the day, does it really matter? Nope, it doesn't. No one cares. We need to find something to put this excess in. What are we gonna put that in?
Put what in? Do you have like one of those things you put like a cake in?
Hang on, I think I have a...
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you had that.
Nice. Let's see how much we can get in here. Jax is going to edit a lot of this. I know this is going to be in the way, but it's going to have to be for just a minute. So this is the excess. I filled up all the jars that I had sanitized. So this is the excess, what I call excess. If I have extra jars, I just don't have them prepared. So this will be someone's supper. That's what's going to happen. And then I have other ideas and other recipes of things that I want to can, and I will can, and that's what will be put into like a little basket for the kids for Christmas. And he ain't going to say nothing about all this. He ain't going to say a word. And I got plans for him after this. He don't even know it. He's gonna know it. So what all do you think is in, what all did we put in these? I know you were sleeping.
Before we continue, be sure to like and subscribe.
Hit subscribe.
Okay, now what were you saying?
What all's in this? What all do you think is in this?
Well, I saw potatoes and corn and celery, I think.
Yep.
And carrots.
Yep.
And is there, I don't know what that is. Is that meat?
Yes. Remember last night? I said it was making me sick.
Oh, yeah.
This was before I puked last night, but I took a big pot roast and I put it in the crock pot and I cooked it normal. And then this morning, I should have done it last night while it was still warm, but just shredded it, cut off the fat. But I wasn't feeling good, so I did put it in the fridge, popped it out, put it in the microwave, and then shredded it. Got rid of the fat. These two down here ate the fat. These two ate the fat. And they're hoping that there's more fat, as you can tell.
What are their names?
Oh, sure. This is Olaf. And this is Harley. Look at Harley's ears. Harley has a birthday. It's actually 10/24. So she's got a birthday coming up, and she will be 13.
And how old will Olaf be?
Well, it's a guesstimation because I got Olaf from the shelter. But I've had him for 7 years, and the vet estimated he was about 6 or 7 at that point. So I just say that they're both the same age. I think they're a couple because they love each other.
Aunt Harley and Uncle Olaf.
Yes, Olaf grooms Harley all the time. You'll see her with her hair all curly and her little ears all wet. It's cute. Okay, so now we're going to... Do you mind to put that in the fridge?
Yeah.
Fridge is very full because Jackson and I went grocery shopping yesterday, and I normally will just do Walmart pickup because it's just me, and I usually have to find things to get it up to the $35 limit. Well, this time it was $125. But
Say that price again.
$125. But we're making Christmas gifts, and I have enough to make... Hang on just a minute. I gotta go get my canner. So last year, again, it was during the pandemic, so canners were short in supply because everybody had the same idea. But I treated myself. That's what I got myself for Christmas. I bought myself a new canner, which I have my mom's canner, and I'll show you it in just a minute. But I ended up making gifts for my staff last year. So I made homemade jam for them, and they liked it. So, my sink is small, but I need to figure out how to get... I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathtub to put water in this.
Wait, you're really going to use that?
Yeah, it's deep. Thank you. Gotta find a place that's nice and deep for this, because I don't even think my sink would be able to fill it. And I think I'm just going to put, you don't fill it as deep as what you think you would, because you're going to put jars in here.
No, bathtub water is different than sink water.
No.
It has water softener in it.
Only if you're foo-foo like you.
Oh, Jackson James.
Okay, just make
Is it
way
heavy?
for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Hey, Aunt Harley, move!
Well, that means getting these bozos out of the way. Can you move that pan?
Pan? Here.
This is hard. Now's a good time to remind Jackson that my arms and my wrists hurt most of the time now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. So I'm going to get my water going in my canner. I'm real proud of this canner. I really am. It was probably $90, which is a lot of money, and I don't normally treat myself like that, but I just think I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. I would like to think I am.
So can you tell the viewers why is there any other things you need to do to the canner before you start using it, like cleaning it or something like that?
Well, the thing that most canners say is you always make sure that your seal is good, because it's rubber and it will get bad after prolonged usage. But I think they say to rub some oil on it, and it just allows it to seal better.
Do you do that?
It's brand new, so I don't.
Okay.
So it's precious. So there's two ways of canning. There's water canning, which is what I did for the fruit, I believe. It's been too long, I can't recall. But this is pressure canning. that you would do for, I think the water canning you can do for fruit, but if you're dealing with vegetables and especially something with meat, you'll want to do pressure canning. And pressure canning is going to make sure that this seals. And you'll know it seals because once it gets done, and it's going to process for 90 minutes, so it's going to be in here for an hour and a half at very, very high temperatures and pressure. Because you'll see that steam. So I'm going to get this to boiling. You put the cans in, it gets hot and it bubbles, and then the steam has nowhere to go because I've got the lid on it. So the steam's going to come out of this hole right here, and then ultimately the pressure will build up, and then this right here will pop up, and whenever it pops up,
Makes a loud sound.
this doesn't. It will only if you put this on it.
Now I have a question.
This is what makes the noise.
Oh yeah. So, for advice for noobs that do canning, do you think it would be dangerous for people that don't know how to do this because of all the pressure and stuff?
You don't want to jack around with it. This is, I mean, we laugh a lot and we joke a lot, but that is nothing to mess around with.
Do you think it could explode?
Yeah. Can and has, I mean, it's never happened to me, but yes, if you don't know what you're doing, this is not something to play with. You could, if you were going to introduce yourself to canning, I would start with the water canning, because it's literally a pot and you put water in it and it boils and then you put the lid on it. It's not pressure canning like this is going to be. And it's that pressure that'll get you. I mean, we live in 2021. YouTube is huge, and honestly, I've learned a lot from YouTube, even though I was around it as a kid. As a kid, you don't really pay attention to everything like you should, so it's not like, oh, I've been around it, so now, 40 years later, I can pop right in and do it. It doesn't work that way. So I would suggest finding a good, reputable YouTuber who cans, and you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from them. And a lot of what they tell you is things, oh yeah, I remember that, Actually, while this is warming up, I'm going to go actually, you can follow me. I'm going to show you what my mom's canner. So get a good look at this canner, because this is brand new. This is is it Miro?
So you got the brand new canner and all of it?
This is going to show you how much pressure is in it.
Okay.
And this is the weight that you put on that jiggles. You've been around canning, it does get loud. Follow me. It's Presto canner. It's a 23-quart canner. So all of my life, this is what my mom always used, and she could have afforded to buy a new one, but this is what she used. I have no idea what year it is. Of course, I have to dig it out, and I can't remember where. Oh, it's right here. I'll take it in here because it's heavier than that.
Is it made of iron?
I swear it is. It's freaking heavy. She's gonna go check out things. So yes, this is extremely heavy. It's cast aluminum. And I've hooked it so that it doesn't.
Technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Where did it stuck at? There's nothing hooked. There we go.
Oh wow.
It's a small one. So that's the inside of it. You can see not only is it extremely heavy, and if you did not know my mother, she weighed about 94 pounds. The most she ever weighed was 110, and that's whenever she was pregnant with one of my brothers. I weighed 110 in the 7th grade. So anyhow, this was way too big for her. I don't know. She kept it in the attic, which was, we lived in a 2-story house. So how she carried it down those steep steps, I don't know. But she did it every year, and then she'd take it back up.
How much do you think this weighs, this old one?
I don't know. Let me hold this and you lift it.
Okay. It's not as heavy as iron, but it is very heavy.
It's
What did
very
you-
heavy, and it's essentially empty. All that's in there are the rings.
Yeah, those don't weigh like anything.
So if you put cans of food in it, here you go. You can imagine how heavy it would be to try to maneuver. So right now we're just waiting on the water to get hot, and just show what my sink area looks like.
So-
It's a mess.
We got this, and then the sink, and then this area. We've also got the cans and this. And how long do you think it'll take for all of this water to start getting hot? What?
Heat it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not a whole lot. But as you're getting into canning, you do want to invest in some good tools. So one tool that you'll want to invest in is one of these. It's dirty, but this is what you set on top of the jar, and then you just ladle your food in it. So it's like a metal funnel. That is very important, but also so is this. It's a way to get your cans out whenever they're hot. So this fits around the can snugly, fits around the bottom of the lip, and then you can lift it up. And whenever you're bringing the cans out of the canner after it's been processed, they're going to be hot. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the canner, and we'll see how many we can fit in there.
Is there any other techniques you should know before we actually start the canning part?
No, obviously, as you're putting the cans in, and the jars, and as you're taking them out, you don't really want them hitting each other, because that's whenever things break. And yes, it does happen that sometimes you open up your canner and a jar has broke, or one didn't seal and there's contents out in the water. It happens. If that were to happen, not breaking, but if something were to not seal all the way, then all you're going to do is just put that can in a container like I did and put it in your fridge and have it for supper. Now, you wouldn't do that if a jar broke, because there's risk of glass being in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can fit 7 quarts in here. So we're going to have to do this a couple of times. And then something else that we're going to do, he doesn't know about it yet, but got these apples at the apple orchard last week, and I'm going to make some applesauce.
And you know what else we got?
I stepped on the dog. Yes?
You know what else we got from that orphanage?
Orphanage?
I
Baby? What?
Wait, what is it? Orchard.
Orphanage.
Sorry, orchard. I don't know. But we also got that cheddar popcorn. It wasn't 100% the best, but if you are going there, just know that it's not regular popcorn.
They probably had it. I just probably didn't grab the right kind.
But I looked at it and I didn't know it was cheddar.
There was a long line, and you had to stay in the line. It was like herding cattle almost. You didn't want to get out of the line, because then you'd have to go all the way to the back of it.
So tell me, why does it look like the dogs are like, there's a force field here and then they don't come in here?
Well, you know why she doesn't come on this kind of flooring? It's because her mobility issues. She does better on carpet, so she rarely comes in here. The other one comes in every 5 seconds because he's up my butt and around the corner. And he's like having a little sister around, always in your way, always in your space. But I'll miss him someday, so I don't complain too much.
So, once these are done being canned, do you have anything else to say on like where you put them once you take them out?
Well, it depends on your house and where you live, but so at home we would have had a basement, and that's where we always put our things because it was nice and cool down there, and foods that were preserved did very well down there because the temperature stayed constant and it didn't freeze in the winter time. Probably did every now and then, but for the most part it stayed pretty constant. But in my apartment, what I would like to have,
Starting putting the plates away.
what I would like to have in my apartment, because I have a second bedroom on the other side of that, I would like to have a little rack that I could put all my canned goods on. Currently, I'm going through baby clothes, so maybe once I get those baby clothes put up, I'll be able to put like a little rack in there. That is truly what I want to do. And I might have to order some more off of QVC, because they got nice ones. That, like that red one out there,
Wait. Oh yeah.
that come from there. It's very nice. Trying to get this unloaded so that I can load up all these others, because anytime that you do this kind of work, you just have to constantly keep washing up your things, no matter what size kitchen you have, because A, you're going to need these items again if you're going to do more canning in the same day. You're just going to have to continually be washing and drying and putting things away, or you'll go crazy.
Now, how long will this canning take part? Like this part?
Well,
Like, is there waiting?
yeah, there's a process. So what you have to do is, I've got it on high, so I'm trying to get it up to boiling. I already have the jars in there. So then, these are my new favorite knives, by the way. Pioneer Woman. Then what you'll want to do is, I think I'll have to read my notes again, because I think once this goes on, which I think I can go ahead and put it on now. Yeah. Let's see. And your canner, come over here. Can you show this right here?
Yeah.
So your canning lid will have a little notch right here that shows you where you need to line it up. Because you'll want to line it up, and then you'll need to secure it. And yes, I always struggle with this every year, so don't judge me. No judging. Certainly a certain way that you have to do it. Anywho, we have a love-hate relationship, because it says to line it up right here, right? V and V. And it says go that way to close it and go this way to open it. So I'm trying to go that way. I know last year I had a heck of a time. I truly did.
I hear that.
Oh, there we go. It's just really hard.
So
Okay.
is it secured now? All ready to go?
It's secure. It's not going to come off unless it blows. So right now what we're waiting for is for the steam to come out of here. Yeah, we are going to have to do. We'll have another full one pretty well. So you don't really want to have things around this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is heating up. What we're waiting for is for the steam to start coming out of here. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get a good angle, but they're all kind of weird.
Well-
Okay, this is actually good. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
there's nothing to tell right now. We're just
Okay,
waiting.
that's what I was waiting for, because now we can stop the video, and then once you do have stuff to talk about, so just we can like snap or like because I can do. Okay, so can you tell them what's happening?
Yes, I can. So we've had the high temperature on the canner now for 7 minutes. I set the timer for 10 minutes. We have 3 more to go. I did go ahead and put this on there because it's about ready, and you can see that, I don't know what it's actually called, but this indicator, when it rises, when this button rises, that indicates that there is pressure building inside the canner, which is what we want. So you got to really work on your temperature, because you want it to where this is going to start jiggling, and then the pressure is going to start building. And we want, for this recipe, we want 10 pressure. I don't know what it's called, but 10 pounds of pressure. That's what we want. Yeah. So we'll wait for this to start jiggling. This is up, so that means that there's pressure in there, and then this will start building as well. I did have it on the highest burner temperature possible. I'm still kind of new to canning, so I'm trying to figure out what the right process is. I know you do it on high for some time until you get it to a particular heat and pressure, and then you'll turn it down to where you keep this jiggling at a routine basis, and this gets to 10. We have less than a minute, and then I believe at that point we start the timer for 90 minutes.
90?
Hour and a half.
Oh.
That's what I said, it processes for a long time. And when in doubt, refer to your manual that comes with your pressure cooker. It has a lot of good value in here. It has recipes, and it talks about
With recipes?
canning recipes. It talks about when you'll use the boiling method and when you'll use the pressure. See, there's a recipe for spaghetti sauce in there. Just has a nice variety. Okay, until we meet again.
Oh, good. What's going on? Wait, what happened? Okay, so what is the pressure supposed to be at?
10.
Oh, and now what do we have to do?
You just turn the heat down. I'm waiting for that to start jiggling now. Really, you shouldn't stand that close to it.
Yeah, keep a distance.
Yeah. And in case I forget to say it, whenever the 90 minutes has occurred, the button is popped down, which means there's no pressure in it anymore. And you're confident that it's okay to open it. Whenever you open it away from you because the steam will come and you don't want to burn yourself.
Yeah. And we're back, and we're about to open the canner and see the cans, right?
Yep. So it processed for 90 minutes. We turned the burner off. The pressure went down to 0. The button popped back down, which means there is no pressure in it. So the thing I want to tell you again is to make sure you
Make sure.
obviously don't rush the process. So you make darn sure that there is no pressure in it. And you also make sure that whenever you pop it up or whenever you take the lid off, you prop it this way so that all of the steam goes that way.
Okay.
Wondering now if we should wait a few more minutes
Why?
just to make sure.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Do the ending thing. Okay, take 2. Now we've waited a few more minutes and we're about to open it.
So you twist it. Always stand back, just in case. We don't want any accidents.
And that's a lot of steam.
It's a lot of steam. I'll set this over in the sink. And we're going to pull out the jars one by one using our tool.
That she mentioned earlier in the video.
I don't know what they did before this. Probably burnt the crap out of themselves. Look at that.
It's nice.
Yeah. It is. And they're extremely hot.
And do you want to make sure that when people do this, they put it like on some sort of thing like this so they don't
Good
like,
point.
burn
Yes.
the counter?
It
So
is suggested to put it on a nice clean towel. I had thought about putting it, have racks, like cookie racks, but I'm afraid it would fall off.
Isn't that what we did last time?
With the jelly jars, yes. They're much smaller. Look at the color. Look at how fluid everything is. This is going to taste good when, Jax?
When it's winter?
Yep.
It looks like it's like... Wait, why is it doing that?
Boiling? It would just come out of boiling water.
It's cool. It's like... I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear the slight bubbling of the jar.
Oh. I know some YouTubers suggest whenever it gets a little bit cooler to shake it up so that the contents are more fluid. Because sometimes the heavier contents will go to the bottom, which usually for this would be meats. Which I only used one roast in this recipe.
Now, when you're placing them outside of the canner, do you...
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
That means it's sealed. That's what you want to hear.
What, do you want to like space them out a little bit, or does it matter?
I space them out because it'll make them cool down quicker.
Yeah.
No.
So
There's
explain
success.
to them. Explain to them about that.
That means that the seal on the flat is sealing. And actually, you probably can't see it, but if you look across some of these, some of them, like that one there, is still popped up. You can see a little hump. And this one here is it concave? It's
Yeah.
flat. So this one here has yet to seal. So you do want to check that, obviously, whenever it cools down. You want to check your seals to make sure that they did seal, because guess what happens if it didn't seal?
It explodes.
It won't explode. It'll just be like vegetable soup sitting out.
Oh, will it go bad?
Yeah.
Hey, also, why is the water yellow?
Because there's a lot of reasons. There could have been something on the can, maybe something seeped out of the jar. It's very normal to have the water will not be crystal clear for a variety of reasons. I am so excited.
All
Look
right.
at this one here, has all the carrots all up at the top. They look like little,
Popped again. Oh my god, they just go all at once.
they do. They do. I would say it looks like they're all sealed, which makes me very happy.
So, is there anything else you want to add before we do the ending?
I don't think so. You
Okay. What?
Is it still going?
Yeah.
You do want to make sure that what you're doing is safe, because you're assuring that this has been sealed properly and it will be okay to sit out on a counter for a year or so. Check your Ball catalogs to see how long it would be good.
What's a ball catalog?
Ball is the brand that
Oh.
makes the jars. So they put out their own catalog, their own little book that talks about canning, and it tells all the things that you can. It's really informative. But it'll also tell you what the shelf life of a lot of these meats are that we're canning, fruits, etc. So obviously you want to make sure that you're not passing on any type of botulism onto your family, because that would be awful. So as long as you follow the proper steps with
Another pop.
you want to disinfect the jars before you even put the food in. And in today's society, all you have to do is put it in the dishwasher. It gets it hot enough. Careful, you're real close to it. So you want to run the jars through just like a rinse cycle with the high heat, and it will sanitize them. And then you'll pull them out and put the food in them right away. And then if you remember, we did boil the flats, which is the other part that will be touching the food. And that's why we did that, to make sure that it's sanitized as well. Do you know what the reason for these are?
To keep the cap on?
Yep, so whenever this cools down, what are we gonna do?
Take it off?
Yep. Yep.
And then how do
that's
you
it.
take off that thing?
When it's time to eat, you just
Yeah.
kick my dog in the face.
I did?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, he's like,
I didn't notice. Sorry.
yep. So whenever it's time and you're wanting to eat it, whenever it's,
What?
whenever it is December and the snow is flying, you're gonna
Flying.
take one of these and you're just gonna pop it off. Don't
Oh.
show it because it's dirty. These things get so dirty, but I think it's called a church key, I think.
A church key? Can you use it to get into churches?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, we're gonna do the intro now. I'm at the ending. So do the clap. Then we'll have
Show
it.
this boiling again.
Okay.
It is really neat.
Here's the boiling inside of the jar.
That's gonna be so good, folks. Okay.
Alright.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were gonna eat. We were gonna eat it. You're
Eat that?
running over my dog. Stand still. God. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second.
Yeah, be
What?
careful laughing.
Wait.
You'll know what happens.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna eat that?
Remember,
right now?
we talked about eating that.
Oh yeah, but oh my god.
Here, he's dumb. Here, you want a bite?
Can we record it?
I don't give a shit. You want this? If not, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Then eat it. Oh, let's give a little sneak peek. This is. Are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
This is what Jax is eating. Anyone know what it is? Maybe we'll just leave this for another time.
Comment down below what you think it is. And then we'll say it in the next video.
Good idea. Join us again.